7 phones on this list, and the gap between the worst pick and the best pick will genuinely surprise you. We tracked what actually failed in the US market this year and what actually delivered. Let's start with the ones you need to avoid completely. First up, the Realme 15 Pro. On the surface, this phone tries to sell itself as a near flagship experience. It advertises a 144Hz display refresh rate, a number that sounds impressive on a spec sheet and gets plastered across marketing materials. But once reviewers actually spent real time using it, that refresh rate got called out as more of a marketing checkbox than something that meaningfully improves how the phone feels day to day. It's the kind of number that looks great in a comparison chart and barely registers in actual use. Then there's the bigger issue. Realme marketed this phone as offering a flagship level camera experience, but it ships without a dedicated telephoto lens, a feature that's become basically standard on phones competing at this price point. For anyone who actually zooms in regularly, whether for portraits, travel photos, or just everyday shots, that's not a small omission. It's the exact feature that was supposed to justify the Pro in the name. Users online have been direct about it too, several specifically pointing to the missing telephoto as their deal breaker, even while acknowledging the rest of the phone performs reasonably well. On top of that, battery life came in below what people expected for a phone in this category, and the Realme 15 Pro also skips several small conveniences that plenty of budget-conscious buyers still look for. No headphone jack, no expandable SD card storage, no FM radio. Individually, none of these are huge deal breakers. Stacked together on a phone marketed as punching above its price class, they add up to a device that oversells what it can actually deliver and undersells what it leaves out. Second, and this one isn't about performance at all, it's about trust, the Blue Bold N4 5G. On the surface, this phone actually looks decent for the money. It comes in around $250, features a curved display, and even includes a secondary display on the back, which is a genuinely unusual feature to find at this price point. If you judge this phone purely on hardware, you might walk away impressed. But Blue carries baggage that no spec sheet can fix. Back in 2017, it came out that the company had installed spyware on its phones that collected personal user data without consent and sent it to servers located in China. Blue settled privacy violation. And here's the thing about trust once it's broken like that. You don't get it back overnight, no matter how many nice features you stack onto a new device years later. Every Blue phone release since carries that history, whether the company wants it to or not. And handing a company your daily data after something like that is a risk most people shouldn't be taking just to save $50. The Google Pixel 10 looks like a safe choice on paper. Great AI features, a clean camera, the full Google experience. But right now, in 2026, it's one of the riskiest picks on the market. Start with the update that hit in April. It made Pixel batteries drain at a speed nobody expected, and it didn't just affect the battery. Users reported problems with wireless connectivity and even camera performance, all tracing back to that single software update. Then there's a bug that's been sitting there since day one. A visual glitch some owners call the rainbow snow screen, where colorful artifacts flash across the display. Years after launch, Google still hasn't fully fixed it. And if the phone ever breaks, good luck getting it repaired. The Pixel 10 scored just 6 out of 10 on iFixit's repairability index, worse than the iPhone, a phone that's already known for being difficult to fix yourself. Add it all up, a battery you can't trust, a screen glitch nobody's solved, and a phone that's a nightmare to repair. On paper, the Pixel 10 is a great phone. In practice, in 2026, it's one you should think twice about. Now let's flip to what's actually worth buying, starting with the iPhone 17. Apple did something smart here that a lot of manufacturers avoid entirely. They gave the base, non-Pro model a real upgrade instead of saving every meaningful improvement for the expensive line. The iPhone 17 now ships with a 120Hz display, a feature that used to be locked exclusively behind the Pro models for years, and Apple doubled the base storage this generation, all while holding the starting price at $799. That combination has genuinely earned this phone recognition as the best value in Apple's entire current lineup. You're getting the smooth, pro-level display experience that most people actually notice and care about day to day, without paying the pro-level price tag that comes with cameras and features a lot of everyday users never fully use anyway. Second on the best list is something genuinely new for Apple, the iPhone Air. This is Apple's first real attempt at an ultra-thin phone, and it represents a different kind of best than the others on this list. It's not about raw specs, it's about a design philosophy most manufacturers manufacturers have been too cautious to fully commit to. It trades a second rear camera and some battery capacity for a dramatically slimmer, lighter body that genuinely feels different in the hand compared to every other flagship on the market right now. It's not the pick for someone chasing the longest battery life or the most camera lenses, but for anyone who's been waiting for a phone that doesn't feel like carrying a small brick in their pocket. This is currently the most ambitious execution of that idea on the market. Third, and this is a completely different category of phone entirely, the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7, the best foldable you can buy right now. Foldables have genuinely matured in 2026 in a way that felt impossible just a couple of years ago. The hinge on this phone is noticeably sturdier than previous generations. The crease running down the middle of the main display is far less visible and far less noticeable in daily use, and it folds down small enough to actually fit comfortably in a pocket without feeling like a brick, something earlier foldables always struggled with. If you like the idea of having a compact phone that opens up into a bigger display when you actually need it for browsing, watching something, or just having more screen for typing, this is currently the phone setting the standard for that entire foldable category, without the reliability concerns and hinge anxiety that scared a lot of people away from foldables just a generation or two ago. And rounding out the best list, the standard Samsung Galaxy S26, not the Ultra model. This is the phone for someone who wants this year's real chipset improvements and Samsung's current camera processing without paying for the Ultra's massive zoom lens or built-in stylus, features that plenty of buyers simply never use. It runs the same generation of core silicon as its bigger sibling, meaning you're not sacrificing meaningful day-to-day performance by choosing the smaller, cheaper option. This is the same story we saw earlier with the Note 20 versus the Note 20 Ultra a few generations back. The base model quietly delivers most of what people actually want, while the flashier version gets all the marketing attention and the higher price tag that goes with it. So here's the pattern worth remembering from this entire list. The phones that failed this year didn't fail because of one single catastrophic flaw. They failed because companies cut corners on outdated chipsets, carried unresolved trust issues from years ago, or quietly stopped supporting a device the moment it hit shelves. The phones that succeeded did the opposite. They actually delivered on what they promised, whether that meant a better display at the same price, a genuinely new design risk that paid off, a foldable that finally feels dependable, or a base model that doesn't force you to overpay for features you'll never touch. Don't buy based on brand name alone. Look at what a specific model actually does well and where it actually falls short, because as we just saw across this entire list, even legacy names can put out something genuinely disappointing, while a smaller, quieter release from a trusted company ends up being the smartest purchase of the year. If this video helped you avoid a mistake or find your next phone, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because we break down exactly which phones are worth your money and which ones to avoid every single week. See you in the next one.